1 second.
Sure.
Dr. Ray, how long the service is usually? Always good for us to yes.
Depends on the teacher.
But I will fit it towards people because I want them to read. Okay. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. I am Rabbi Len Muroff. It is nice to be here. I think I'm at Temple Beth Ohr in La Mirada, California. Okay, good. I just want to make sure I'm in the right place. Our guest soloist this week is Hannah Bubis. Welcome her. Dr. Ray and she will help us get started with a new nigun, a wordless melody to help us get into the spirit. It's been a difficult week for some people, and we want to, help make a transition. So we begin with the nigun. Welcome, and it's going to be a beautiful night.
Hi, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. I want to invite you all to close your eyes and open your hearts and listen to this tune. It's very, very simple. If you feel called to join in, I would imagine that by doing so, your hearts will just continue to open. Hey, 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 da, do. Hey, 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 da, do. Yedi, da, yada, yada, yam, da, yo. Hey, 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 oh. Hey, 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 oh. Yedi, da, yada, yada, yam, da, yo. Hey, 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 oh. Yedi da yada yada yam da yo ay yo ay yada do yedi da yada yada yam da yo.
This week for our community has been one of loss, and there are people here whose loved ones' funerals were this week. I want to offer words of support to the family of Harley Rockoff of blessed memory, to his son Ron, his daughter Carrie. My notes are on the other page. Here we go. And also to Peggy Roman, who is here, whose sister, our former member Lily Kramer, passed away this week. So we send words of condolence, as I said, at the Shiva house of the Rockman family. We need to turn off the volume on our phones, and I said something else to them that night, that we are uniquely suited to deal with loss because we're part of a community. We're not living alone. So we continue by thinking about what Shabbat has meant to people. The theme for tonight is the board that's coming and the one that's going, or going and then coming. But I'm also going to be talking about kindness. So I want you to start thinking about something kind you did this week. So when I get to that part, you'll say, oh, Rabbi, this is what I did that was kind. So, or maybe something kind that somebody did to you. I continue with a reading by a writer named Grindel. He writes about Shabbat as follows. This is the great warmth, the great at-homeness. This is the knowledge of belonging, the loneness merging into a strong oneness. One lost drop of water finding its way into the sea. The Torah gleams white and silver. We stand singing and praying, our hearts warm with peace, our spirits quiet in the quietness of Shabbat. This is the end of the week and its beginning. This is the moment of pause, the refilling of the empty vessel, the renewing of the Spirit. This is the remembering, a shared memory of 2,000 years and the shared embarking upon 2,000 more. This is the hearth, the gathering together, the pain and the joy, the tears and the gentle laughter. We had all of that this week in our community. This is the benign wisdom in an old man's or woman's eyes, and the hope in a boy or girl's fresh voice. The roots go back and the arms stretch forward into the future. We're going to start with the present and ask our President, Leslie Berger, to come forward to share some announcements.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
My name is Leslie Berger, President of TBO. This evening, we're celebrating and acknowledging our hardworking board members. Our temple is run by volunteers, and we can always use more people to step up and help. On August 12th, Brotherhood is having a program about the history of football. Please RSVP on our website. Contact Sergio if you have any questions. Thank you to Rabbi Muroff and Dr. Ray for the music tonight. And welcome to our guest soloist, Hannah. Thanks to our tech team, Phil Carey, David Youngman, Chris Jastrock, and Susan Carey for running the YouTube channel chat. I think she's doing it, I'm not sure. Thanks to our ushers, Mikhail Sneward and Sergio Sanchez Guzman. And contact Sergio if you want to be an usher. We can always use more ushers. And the emergency exits are Shabbat Shalom.
This is going to be an audience participation service. So if you need to shake any willies, please let's all shake it out. Okay? And last week I started by saying that one of the rabbis that I know said that we need to get rid of the heaviness, maybe the heavy air, the stuffiness we've been holding. So let's sort of take a deep breath. We'll do it 3 times. A moment ago, I talked about kindness. Connected to kindness is the idea of gratitude. So for me, that's a way into being kind. If I'm feeling grateful for the blessings that I have, then it's easier for me to be kind. So perhaps later when I ask for input on what kind things you did, it's perfectly fine if instead you discuss something that you're grateful for, some benefit you enjoyed or a blessing you realize you had that you might not have realized you did. We now turn to an opening prayer that is not usually part of our service, but it is so moving and touching. When I went away to college and then this became the song that we did, it really touched my heart. And this is a beautiful tune. I don't have a page. I don't want there to be a page. It's called Yedid Nefesh, and Hannah will lead us with Dr. Ray's assistance. It is just about nefesh means soul, you may know. So this occasion at this moment is to help our souls transition from the heaviness or just perhaps a tough work week. Never mind the loss we had, and we just move forward to help elevate our souls. Yedid Nefesh.
Yedid Nefesh av harachaman mesochavdach El ritzonach yarutz avdach kemo ayal yishtachave el mul hadarach
We continue with Shalom Aleichem, our prayer of welcoming. It's found on page 24 in our prayer books. Please turn to that page. And at the end, we turn and symbolically greet the Sabbath bride, plus anyone else who happens to be arriving at that time. Shalom Aleichem. Please join in if you're able. And La La La's are fine too.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet, Malachei Hayon. Mi Melech Malachei HaMlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch השלום מלאכי עליון ממלך מלאכי המלאכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ברכוני לשלום מלאכי השלום מלאכי עליון ממלך מלאכי המלאכים הקדוש ברוך הוא צאתכם לשלום מלאכי השלום מלאכי עליון ממלך מלאכי המלאכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
So this evening is both an installation and whatever the opposite is, a disinstallation, an unstallation, I'm not sure. So, hang on. I'm calling you up, so you can add that. I'd like to call forward the two individuals who served selflessly as our presidents the past 2 years? 1 year, David and Leslie. So Leslie's going to make an announcement, but then they will do first a reading and then the candle lighting. David Youngman and Leslie Berger. Are you going to do the announcement first? Okay.
He's going to put it up. Oh, yeah, we did that.
Is also the lead.
I apologize. We want to acknowledge those for Shabbat readings tonight. Jeff and Wilma Shear, Reed and Bob Rubin, Ted and Noel Singer, and the McNella family. And some of you are here tonight, and thank you so much for supporting our fundraiser. And the live flowers here tonight are sponsored by the board in honor of the new board installation and the uninstallation. And the board is also honoring, sponsoring the ONEG tonight. I think that's it. Thank you.
Please rise, page 3, the lighting of our beautiful Shabbat candles. Page 3.
Do the reading?
Yes, sir. Okay.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who beholds us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
It's very small to see. I made the one you need so small.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu l'katnik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
We now continue with you sitting. I was saying to Sergio before the service that the joy of a synagogue is that the rabbi doesn't have to be the only one to contribute to the form of the service. So we've already had Dr. Ray and Hannah, Leslie, David, And as Sergio and I were talking, and he said he has a favorite psalm. I don't know how many of us have a favorite psalm. By default, I might say Ashrei, because I like a couple of the lines, open up your hand, satisfy every living being. But this is Sergio's favorite. And I'm saying it because the Psalms are so full of beauty and praise, and we need much more beauty and praise in our lives than we have. So here's Psalm 91. We were going to do 95, but 92 is the one for Shabbat, so let's see what 91 is. Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say to the Lord, God is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. Surely God will save you from the fowler's snare and from the deadly pestilence. God will cover you with his feathers, and under his wings, his protective wings, you will find refuge. And his faithfulness will be your shield and rampart. You will not fear the terror of night, nor the arrows that fly by day, nor the pestilence that stalks in the darkness, nor the plague that destroys at midday. 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. You will only observe with your eyes and see the punishment of the wicked. If you say, the Lord is my refuge, and you make the Most High your dwelling, no harm will overtake you, no disaster will come near your tent. For God will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. There are some other stanzas, lines, we'll get to them another time. As I was reading it, I realized that I say that at funerals, as we're walking from the curb to the gravesite. And there I have found it, and hopefully the families in the hundreds of funerals I've done have also felt it comforting to see God as protecting us with God's enveloping wings. We now turn to something more joyous than a psalm that's said at a funeral, but that we've seen this week as part of life. We turn to Lecha Dodi, pages 20 and 21. Hannah will lead us in 1, 2, 8, and 9. And as I said before, and you regulars know, right before the 9th, I'll ask you to rise and we'll greet the Sabbath bride. We'll pretend we're at a wedding and the bride is about to walk in. Lecha Dodi, page 20.
Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabla, Shamor V'Zachor B'Dibor Echad, Hishmianu El HaMiuchad, Adonai Echad U'Shmo Echad, L'Shem U'Tiferet V'Litila, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabla, Likrat Shabbat, Lechu V'Nelcha, Ki Mekor HaBeracha, Merosh Mikedem Nesucha, Sof Ma'aseh B'Machshavat Chila, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabla, verse 8, Yaminu Smol Tifrotzi, Ve'et Adonai Taritzi, Al Yadish Ben Partzi, Ve'nismecha Ve'nagila, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabla, Boi V'Shalom sohala tochemune am segula boi chala lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabla.
Please be seated. We're going to take 2 minutes. Somebody time us. What are some kind things you did this week? If you say them, I will repeat them. Anybody have anybody do anything nice for them this week? Yes, please.
I would like to start with being grateful.
Great. I mentioned that before too. This is Rita.
So I'm very grateful for the Adult Ed Committee. They are a wonderful group of people. And
So pause, because the people can't hear. Rita, who's the chair of the Adult Ed Committee, said she's grateful for the Adult Ed Committee.
and so as a kindness, I have them at my house for brunch on
Thursday.
That was the kindness.
And the kindness from the rabbi's perspective is that all these people volunteered. And it is the largest adult ed committee I've worked with in a long time. Anybody on this side? Because we have that side. Dana.
My husband bought me flowers on Tuesday because we had a really good day.
Toby. My Judy.
I don't get flowers all the time, but everybody likes to get flowers.
I only buy flowers on Friday. Judy's listening now. Uh-oh. Twice. Anyway.
It was a long day. It was very nice.
We should stress the positive. They were at a funeral on Tuesday. It was a difficult day. So Toby expressed a kindness. It's not the action, it's really the thought, but the flowers in the home do add a lot. We are now going to continue because it's more than 2 minutes. Now that you've rested, please rise for the Baruch. That was our warm-up section, the Psuke de Zimra, the Baruch, the call to worship, page 28. What?
Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai Amvorach Leolam Vaed. I ask you to please be seated. We are about to declare our belief in God, but before we can get there, we have to step by step move our way forward. Like in human loving relationships, you can't rush in. You need to explain, in this case, to God. In other situations, our partners, our children, our coworkers. We have to say why we're so pleased and why we love them and why we think good things about them. So the top of page 31, praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and seasons glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai Amari Varavim. And like the love in our lives that we cherish most, the love with God is seen as being an everlasting love, not a passing fancy. So let's read together the middle of page 32, everlasting love. After the final blessing, I'll ask you to please rise. Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Get ready to stand. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. We join together, page 34.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Noah in the back, do you want a Torah to hold? You can squish it, and if you drop it, we won't miss the oneg. There you go. Please be seated. We're going to tell God, well, actually, it's God telling us how to love. So let's read the middle of page 36, then we'll go back up to Lema'an. The middle of 36. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand, and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God,
who brought you out of the land of Egypt
to be your God. I am Adonai your God. Let's go back up, as I said, as I put my finger where we are. The middle of 36 in the Hebrew, 36 is a great page for Jewish people. Double chai, extra love. Le'man tizkeru basitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim le'elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim li'ot lachem le'elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem emet. So how many times have you seen Dr. Ray, Hannah, and I on this pulpit together? Never. So we're going to have you join us for the next one. It's Mi Kamocha, page 40. So work with us. It's going to get better over time. Hannah's going to do the beginning. We'll try not to make it like Purim, which is extra silly, but I think we're going to know this. All right, Doctor? All right. Dr. Ray is the holdover.
We're going to find out.
All right, go ahead.
Hey, 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 hey,
now the words.
Mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh norati lo
Ma'alechutecha ra'u vanecha bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam ze'elianu ve'amru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. We'll get it better. V'ne'emar ki fad Adonai et Yaakov v'galo me'el chazak mimenu baruch ata Adonai gal Yisrael. All right. Hashkivenu is focused on the fact that peace is often elusive, sleep is elusive. I think as a community, we are not unfamiliar with melatonin and other ways that chemists and doctors have helped us be able to wind down. Hashkivenu is found on page 42. We're going to begin together.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim.
Do you guys mind if we do that again? It's really beautiful. All right, let's join in.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim.
Let's go down to the English in the middle. Thank you, Hannah and Dr. Ray. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and
raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel, for your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore.
Blessed are you, Adonai,
Guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem.
Baruch atah Adonai, haporesu kat shalom aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. We are about to have the opposite of an installation, because I'm not really sure what the word is. A discharging of office for the individuals that so graciously gave of their time. They served when it was still COVID. They might have also served the year before that, when it's really not as easy to get involved as other times. I was saying before that one of my favorite Psalms is Psalm 145. Open up your hands, potech et yadecha maspia lachol chai ratzon, and satisfy every living being. But as we all get older, and with the things in the world making our heads explode, it's really unique to find individuals that are able to give so selflessly. So we're here tonight to thank the individuals that did rise beyond whatever their particular life challenges are and what the challenges of the world were that made it especially meritorious. So I'm going to ask the individuals that are here to rise, and then once I've said all their names, as a group, you can come forward so we don't have you just coming up one at a time. So the individuals who served as president, how about we work our way up to president? So I'll start at the bottom of the list and work our way up. The Brotherhood president was Howard LeVoot. And if you're here, I'm not going to look around, where are they? If you're here and you hear my name, either your name, then please rise. Sisterhood president Joanne Lotkin. And if I mispronounce names, please just tell me at the Oneg, because I may not get it right. Immediate past president, Dina, tell me how you pronounce your last name? Jastrock. Oh, there you go. Thank you. The Safety and Security Co-Chairs, Doug Kotkin and Sergio Sanchez Guzman. Marketing and Communications and Beacon Editor, she's clearly not here, Susan Carey. We thank you, from the Pacific Northwest and Washington State. Adult Education and Senior Activities, I know she's here because she spoke about gratitude. Rita Rubin, thank you to all of you thus far. To the Social Action and Intercommunity Community Relations Committee, the co-chairs are Chris Jastrock and Lori Rosenfeld. The House Committee, Sherry Held. Ways and Means, Carol Brennan. The Recording Secretary, Sharon Kravitz. Financial Secretary, Scott Zwern. The Treasurer, Donna Berglis-Hess, I know you're here. The third Vice President of Education and Youth, Harry Jacobs. Second Vice President for Membership, Joyce Kessler. First Vice President for Religion, Joe Tellis. And the co-presidents from the past year, David Youngman and Leslie Berger. Before they come up, I think we get like a Zoom round of applause for them. How about a real round of applause? So I'd ask you to please come up here because we have something special for you. It feels like they're about to pose for a class picture. So if someone wants to take a picture, you're welcome to. So as you come forward, I have a blessing for you. Yeah, you could capture it off the video.
Quite a few of us, as you can see.
We're a Reformed synagogue, so men can be on the other side of the bima also. Okay.
All right.
So here, this is from the often...
See that picture we can capture?
But not so far that someone's out of this. There. Wow, magic. All right, so before... Why don't you do your part first? And I'll end with the blessing.
There's nothing stronger than the heart of a volunteer.
One conversation, please. This is not a board meeting.
I'll start again. There's nothing stronger than the heart of a volunteer. Our temple is run by volunteers. Thank you to our board members who put in numerous hours for the temple. They are the engine that keeps us moving. This past year was particularly challenging with the retirement of Rabbi Mark, not renewing Cantor Stacy's contract, and searching for a new rabbi. Thank you to the search committee, Sharon Kravitz, for finding Rabbi Muroff. We had additional meetings and board retreats trying to figure out what's best for the temple. We have some gifts for the outgoing members. Can we do that now?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's all you. Picture Phil. A tree was planted in Israel in your name. Each certificate is personalized and framed. See the picture on the screen, maybe.
No, it's on the screen.
No, but he was going to do one. And Susan, your gift will be mailed to you. I'd like to personally thank David for being co-president with me. Although we didn't always agree on things, you were available to discuss important issues. You liked the idea of planting a tree in Israel, but I think you really wanted another mug. So I ordered you a special mug. Unfortunately, it's not going to be until next week, maybe. It's a personalized Yeti mug. If people knew who Yeti is, it's really popular products now. Double wall insulated 14-ounce mug.
Okay.
Your turn.
You ready?
You're ready.
Okay. I'm going to say something. Thank you. This was an unusually interesting year for all of us. It really was. We had so much to do that our treat was divided into what, 2 or 3? We couldn't cover all subjects that we had to do. We slowly recovered from COVID-19 and we turned to normal services, although we decided as a board that we will continue to do hybrid services as we're doing tonight. So we're going to stream, we're committed to streaming and having live. We decided to do that this year. Sharon Kravitz, you were our secretary and you kept the correct records and made sure that everything was recorded properly. Thank you. In September, longtime office administrator Deneen Dyson moved to a new position at Cal State Fullerton, And thank you to the board and specific people like Donna Berglis-Hess, Sharon Kravitz, Dina Jastrock, Leslie Berger, and others, I hope I didn't miss anybody, who helped us run the temple. This temple was run without an office administrator. And these people, they volunteered their time and their skills, and this temple, as far as I was concerned, was running extremely smoothly. Thank you. Now, we did hire a new office administrator. This board did, and it's Debbie Holland, and we have a new office administrator now. So that was quite a challenge. Quite a lot of things happened this year. The temple administration, the administration was streamlined to a new piece of software that's accepted in the synagogue community. It's called ShulCloud. And thank you to Sisterhood for purchasing the software. And especially thank you to Donna Berglis-Hess, who helped us transition from quite a messy, like Excel spreadsheets, Word, who knows what other programs. We had to merge them into one big program, and you will see some of the benefits in the future where you will have your own portal. Each congregant will have their own portal and see their status and rosters. So thank you, Donna. Is she here? No, she's here. Donna, thank you. Wow, that was... Any words to say? Are we there yet? Have we?
Getting there. Wait, most importantly, Rabbi, you can print.
Yay.
She is not just the treasurer or the software expert, but she's the tech expert, so thank you very much.
Well, once you stepped up to do ShulCloud, now you're the mother of all the technology in our temple, Donna. Congratulations. Okay. Following Rabbi Goldfarb's departure, we had to form a search committee, and that search committee was headed and formed by Sharon Kravitz. They did an outstanding job. They interviewed quite a few rabbis. They reviewed resumes and interviewed several. And as Leslie mentioned, we have our new rabbi. Thank you. Another thing we had to deal with was, we're very glad to announce that Dr. Ray Irwin will be with us for another year. As you might have noticed, we don't have a regular cantor, but we will have one soon. Right, Leslie? Yes, all right. Sure, all right.
After the holidays.
Okay. I want to thank Joe Teas for running the religious committee. This committee brings Yiddishkeit to our temple by coordinating high holidays, Purim, Passover, Shavuot, and every Friday night. Thank you, Joe. That was a big job. Thank you, Harry Jacob, who wore multiple hats this year. He ran the Safety and Security Committee, and at time of need, he stepped in and ran the Education and Youth Committee. So, Harry, thank you very much. You are very, very brave. Flo Bornstein and Joyce Kessler, you folks ran our membership committee and ran us running smoothly. You had a dinner and you kept our membership in order, and you talked and called our existing members and new members and coordinated. And thank you for doing that. You started with Flo and you continued it. Thank you. We had Carol Brennan head our Ways and Means Committee. We had a wonderful, fun time at the Iron Latka. Is she here? No. Oh, sorry. Okay. Well, if you're online, Carol, thank you. Also, a special thank you to Mike Kravitz for doing the fireworks booth. And what was the official number, Mike? Do we know yet? 17. Wow, that's no small potatoes. Thank you. Thank you very much. I want to thank Rita Rubin, who brought us great adult education events. The thing that I remember the most is, of course, the chocolate tasting in history. That was one I remember. No, that was a lot of fun. There were other programs, too. Thank you, Rita. Where's Rita? Rita, thank you. Thank you to Lori Rosenfeld and Chris Jastrock for heading the Inter-Community Relations and Social Action Committee. You have the longest naming committee name. You brought us programs to educate us, and let's see if I remember. One of them I remember was about composting, and one of them was you had an ADL speaker who taught us about anti-Semitism. Thank you for that. In addition to that, we as a temple, headed by this committee, we collected toys, we collected food. How many tons of food have we collected so far?
In the past 15 and a half years, about 5 tons.
5 tons of food. We've donated non-perishable food to the community. And also, I remember we collected clothing this year, right? Jackets? Okay.
And we're having a school supply drive right now.
And we're having a school supply,
So if you haven't contributed,
The box is out there.
thank you. Thank you to this wonderful committee, Lori and Chris. And where would we be if we were not visible on social media and have our own monthly newsletter? Thank you, Susan Carey, who's with us, probably chatting right now on our streaming channel. And she does the beacon for us, and she does the social marketing, the Facebook, she does the YouTube. She's chatting with people. I don't know if you've seen it. I think most of you know what I'm talking about. And also, I'd like to thank Phil Carey, her husband, who helps us run the streaming. He actually runs it. You know, I just kind of pretend like I know what I'm doing back there, but in reality, Phil Carey, does it all. So a lot of times I get the credit because I sit there, but 4 out of 5 times he will operate it. I do it once in 5 so that I know what to do if he's gone, or is not able to connect. So thank you, Phil and Susan, of being with us from Washington. And it's been, 2-3 years since they moved to Washington, but they are with us. They're with us all the time. Thank you. All right. And again, thank you to Joanne Kotkin for running Sisterhood and being on our board. And thank you for all that Sisterhood does for our temple. Okay, so thank you. Also, thank you to Brotherhood. Thank you to Howard Levoot for running Brotherhood and being part of our board. And Brotherhood has done a lot of things. Most notable things that we've done in the past year and are going to do right now. We have a beautiful projector that we installed in the social hall, and we will be using it at our events. And before High Holidays, Mike Kravitz, and part of Brotherhood, we're going to install a chilled water cooler with a bottle dispenser running through a 6-stage reverse osmosis filter. Okay? All right. Okay. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you. This was a challenging year. I was truly... Oh, and of course, Scott's Vern. Scott, no, Scott. This is the man who really helps us bring in our funds. He's the accounts receivable, and Donna is the accounts payable. That's how we keep them both honest, okay? All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. So I have a blessing for all of the individuals up here. Thank you for your kind words. After that, there will be gifts and parting gifts. Abraham Joshua Heschel, the often quoted and very wise man, wrote as follows: "How good it is to wrap oneself in prayer, spinning a deep softness of gratitude to God around all thoughts, enveloping oneself in the silken veil of song." What a poetic mind he has. So this is his prayer that I share to you. Modim anachnu lach, we are grateful to you for all that you did. And we're grateful to God for the world that has given us opportunities here. Modim anachnu lach, thank you to all of you for how you enhance the value of our experiences and you add much to our human experience. I thank you for being in a group where views are not always the same. And we thank God for allowing us to have different types of views. I thank you all who help others live with dignity and freedom. We thank you for allowing people to have human liberty and for us to have a place to pray and to appreciate the beauty of our tradition. We thank you for giving people an opportunity to affirm and choose how to live their Jewish lives. Not everyone comes to synagogue. Not everybody does each of the things you do, but the fact that we have many entry points is especially important. We pray that all of us may live not by our fears, but by our hopes, not by our words, but by our deeds. Blessed are you, Adonai, your name is goodness, and may all of you continue to have the strength to act on God's behalf to bring goodness and peace and kindness into the world. Thank you for all that you have done.
Okay.
So I'll shake one hand, representing the shakes to all of you. I don't wish the shakes on you. I'm just saying, I'm suggesting that it'll just be a little quicker. So why don't you take the bag? So maybe as you leave the stage, David and Leslie will have a parting gift for you.
You got it? Yeah. I think I have two. Also, I forgot to mention, I have to embarrass two more people, and that is Doug Kutkin and Sergio Sanchez Guzman. They are our Safety and Security Committee members, not members, but heading this Safety and Security. Thank you.
It's rare that at your synagogue you have a guy with a white beard handing out gifts, but in packages wrapped in red. And blue. Okay, good.
Next time we'll have to have you guys lined up in order.
Yeah, I know. I alphabetized it, but...
While this is going on, just because I can hear the oneg cooking, I'd like everyone who is on the incoming board to prepare to stand. So I'm going to list those people. I'm just following the orders I was given. The individuals that are on the incoming board are probably the same people, but I was given a piece of paper that probably has all the same names. The incoming president, look at that, Leslie Berger, first vice president. Don't leave yet, don't leave.
No, those two.
No, guys, but the rabbi gets to decide. Please go back, because I have a blessing. Like, it's like having 3 quarterbacks on a team. If you guys go back, the blessing I have for all of the continuing will also be for you. Leslie Berger, Dina Jastrock, first vice president. Second vice president, Joe Tillis. Third vice president, Sarah Kelman. Treasurer, Donna Berglitz-Hess. Financial secretary, Scott Swern. Recording secretary, Sharon Kravitz. Ways and Means, Joanne Kotkin. House committee is open. Social Action Intercommunity Relations Council Relations, Chris Jastrock and Lori Rosenfeld. Adult Ed and Senior Activities, Rita Rubin. Marketing Communications and Beacon Editor, the aforementioned Susan Carey. Safety and Security, Doug Kotkin and Sergio Sanchez Guzman. Amidah Past President, David Youngman and Leslie Berger, but she's coming back around. The Sisterhood needs a president, and Brotherhood, Howard Levoot. So I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but you're just as worthy of this blessing, so I wanted you to get it front and center. This is written by a Rabbi, Rachel Barenblatt, and she says, "May our hearts open to one another and to the community we strive to serve." She wrote this, not me. "May we be kind to one another. May we give one another the benefit of the doubt. May we listen to one another generously. May we be willing, when it is appropriate, to set aside our own desires in the service of the community. May we be willing, when it is appropriate, to stand up for what we know to be right, without diminishing the esteem with which we hold those with whom we disagree. May we see the bigger picture of which we are all a part. May we remember that there are things happening in each person's lives to which we may not have access. May we be compassionate with one another. May we honor and thank those whose hard work has gotten us to where we are, and celebrate those who are willing to take the baton and continue the work ahead. May all who serve reap in joy, and let us say, Amen. Siman Tov and Mazel Tov and Mazel Tov and Siman Tov, Siman Tov and Mazel Tov and Mazel Tov and Siman Tov, Siman Tov and Mazel Tov and Mazel Tov and Siman Tov, Yeh Lanu. So just to make it official, all of the people, except for the two that were leaving, you are now officially installed as officers of Temple Beth Ohr of La Mirada. Thank you so much for what you have done and what you will do. All of us, the professionals, plus the individuals in the community are here to help you. We look forward to working at your side. Thank you. And now you may all return to your seats. But now I have a separate prayer for Leslie Berger. Our God and God of our fathers and mothers, bless Leslie Berger as she takes up this mantle of leadership. Endow her, I dispensed you too soon, but let's pay attention here. Endow Leslie with wisdom, vigor, and understanding as she guides Temple Beth Ohr in these trying times. May the source of strength grant her the fortitude and courage necessary to lead this family of families to even greater heights. Sustain her, God, with your spirit. Grant that the words of her mouth be endowed with insight and that the work of her hands be imbued with blessing. May your blessing, Adonai, come to rest upon her and then upon us. Amen.
Amen.
The rest of my remarks will be delivered at Kol Nidre. So we are now going, because Dr. Ray gave me a time limit and we're about to go over. What's most important is that we also pray for people that are ill, but we're not quite ready for that. So I'd ask you to please rise for Vishamru, page 44. And we thank God for the Sabbath, which we're enjoying now.
Vishamru
B'nai Yisrael et
HaShabbat La'asot et HaShabbat L'dorotam berit olam Beini uven b'nai Yisrael Oti le'olam Oti le'olam Oti le'olam Vishamru b'nai Yisrael et HaShabbat La'asot et HaShabbat L'dorotam berit olam Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat La'asot et HaShabbat L'dorotam berit olam Ubayom hashvi'i Shabbat vaynafash Shabbat vaynafash Shabbat vaynafash Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat La'asot et HaShabbat L'dorotam berit olam.
Please remain where you are. I'm walking over to the ark, pulling a string. I'll be right back. Please turn to page 46, Adonai Svatai. We ask God for the ability to find the words necessary to look inward and then to praise others and God. Page 46.
Adonai sifatai tiftachu fi yagid tehilatecha Adonai open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise.
So unlike last week, this week we are going to do the first few pages of the Amidah together. They are found on pages 48 through 52. Then some silent time will arrive, pages 53 through 62. So we begin together on 48. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'elahei avoteinu v'imotenu Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor V'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, V'zocher Chazdei Avot Ve'imahot, U'mevii Geula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, V'ezrat Sarah, page 50. Atagi bor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol ata Rav le'hoshia, Morid hatal, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim v'rofeh cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato lishenei afar micha mocha ba'al gevurot umida melach melech meimit umechaye umatzmiach Yeshua v'ne'amana talachayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kdoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru
We now continue. You may be seated with the Misha Berach, the middle of page 253. I have one name here of someone who asked to be included in these prayers, but as we did last week, I'll ask for you to share names, and I will be happy to mention them. And as I said last week, at 253, right in the middle, if you would like names to be added on a regular basis, you're welcome to call the office or email Debbie, or email myself. My email address is rabbimuroff@tbola.org, or you can call. My number will be in the bulletin, and you can then reach me directly. I'm happy to be of support, but also at this time in the service, some folks in the past have found it helpful. So we continue with Debbie Friedman's version of Mishaberach. We'll stop in the middle. I'll add the one name I have of our friend and member, Peggy Horwitz, and then we'll continue with other names.
Mishaberach Avoteinu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen.
So as I mentioned, we pray for healing and health and a greater sense of peace for Peggy Horwitz. Anyone on the pulpit have anyone to add? No? Going from right to left, any names? Hang on here, I'll point to you as best I can to hear. Thank you. Thank you. Donna? Okay. Yes, in the back. Noah's father. Thank you. Anybody right in the front row here? We'll work our way back. Thank you. We'll try different ways of doing this. Yes. Sue Rubin. Anybody in the middle? Yes, in the back. Thank you. Chris. Anybody up here? Yes? Go ahead. Thank you.
Allison Lippert.
Thank you. Anybody on this side? Okay, I have the name of Bracha Bat Leah. I'm sure there are others. I'll add to my list as well. We continue with the second half of the prayer, the middle of page 253, but before you do, we pray also for those people whose names we don't know. You know, Rabbi Harold Kushner, who died recently, said in his famous book, the book that made him famous, Why Bad Things Happen to Good People, is we expect God is going to be healing the people who don't have someone mentioning their names. So for all the unnamed folks, we think of them and the people in our circle we may have forgotten. Mishaberach Imotenu is where we continue the middle of 253.
Mishaberach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Please rise for Aleinu, page 282.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת
גדולה ליוצר בראשית,
שלא עשנו כגויי הרצון, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
You may be seated. Benemar V'haya Adonai melech al
kol haaretz bayom ha'hu bayom ha'hu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo u'shemo u'shemo
Kaddish is on 294, but you know our custom is to mention the individuals in the community who are mourning individuals and their family. We extend condolences to Ron and Carrie Rockoff, who are here, and Linda and Merrill, their siblings who are not. We remember your father, and we hope his memory continues to bring comfort to you. We also remember and offer support, to Peggy Roman, whose sister Lily Kramer died this week. We are thinking of you at this time. The individuals for whom the Kaddish of the year is being said are Mary Lewis, Joel Lowenstein, Arthur Krieger, Maria Paulus Osborne, Ellen Hope Tews, Martin Becker, Nehama Fragoso, Allegra Gordon, Cyrus Chetty, May Salinger, Sally Kravitz, Myron Crystal, Molly Abraham, Phyllis Royce, Barbara Milton, Sandy Zwern, David Blochtine, Robbie Bush, Rita Manning, and Jack Pivo. I didn't want to forget Tony Bennett. He died today, so we remember him fondly too. The people for whom Yahrzeit is being observed: Aaron Schmidt, the brother of Leo Schmidt, Jack Omens, David Philip Slater, Dr. Nathan Chessman, Dr. Bernice Kotkin, the mother of Douglas Kotkin, and the grandmother of Haley and Samantha Kotkin, Emily Kogan Ulibari, Louis Reuben Kramer, Lawrence M. Scher, the uncle of Jeff Scher, Jack L. Gasser, the husband of Marion Gasser, Ben Grossberg, Shachar Hertzberg Bar, the relative of Chris and Dina Jastrock, Harry Bass, the brother of Irene Bergerson, Alfred Marshall, Leah Levine, the sister of Jan Dezin, Stanley Berman, the cousin of Ted LaVoot, and the cousin of Howard LaVoot. I am mentioning the name of the husband of a friend of mine. His name was David Berman, and he died about 6 months ago. And a friend of mine, Gordon Alexander, was killed by a runaway car about 7 or 8 months ago. So in all of their memories, we pause now to thank God for the good and to be grateful for the communities we have that are lifting us up at difficult times. I'd like everybody to rise for the Mourner's Kaddish. It is found on 294. If you are saying Kaddish, please join with me. And if you're close to the people that are reciting it because they've had a death in the family, please say Amen, or maybe cuddle closer to them and help them feel they're not alone. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Bialma divra chirute biamlech malchute bechayechon v'yomechon uchaye dechol Beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevarach leolam omei olmaya Yit barach v'yishtabach v'yit boar v'yit romam v'yit naseh V'yitalal Shemei Dekudasha Berichu Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'Shirata Tushbachata V'Nechamata Da'amiram B'Alma V'Imru Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya Chayim Aleinu V'Al Kol Yisrael V'Imru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'Imromav Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. I want to add to what was said at the beginning. Thank you, Dr. Ray, and especially to our guest soloist tonight, Hannah Bubis. It's very nice being together with Hannah. We are now ready for the blessing over the wine, which means that soon we'll be eating together. But we don't just quickly mumble it. We sing with joy, because it's really a beautiful thing when grapes have been grown and someone turned them into something we can use to celebrate. Page 4, Vayehi Erev.
Vayehi Erev vayvoker yom hashishi, vayechulu hashamayim v'haaretz, v'chol tzevam, vayechol Elohim bayom hashvi'i melachto asher hasa, vayishpot bayom hashvi'i mikol melachto asher hasa, ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. סברים.
לחיים.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן.
אמן.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו V'Shabbat kodsho b'yahava u'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim ki vanu v'acharta v'yotanu kidashta mikol ha'olamim v'shabbat kodshecha b'yahava u'vratzon hinchaltanu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat.
And as her first act in office as the official president of the synagogue, Leslie's going to lead us in the Motzi. She might be nervous, so be really nice to her. Thank you. You have 2 baggies of bread. I don't think that's working. I don't know where they are. Baruch atah Adonai, you know this, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz, you get to eat the bread.
Yay.
So I'm supposed to make a reflective comment now about Shabbat. I think given that we had, which is a rare thing for our community, 2 people die, and I was very privileged to be at both of the funerals and at the Shiva house for Harley. It was very clear that there's a lot of love in this community, and I think that that love is going to be needed in ever increasing amounts as we go forward. I think there are a lot of opportunities to give back. I think that today was about kindness and being grateful. I think there are all sorts of ways, and if you want to be on the kindness committee, you can reach out to me and to Leslie. Tell us what ways you want to give back, and we will find a way for you to remember people. I have a list of who I know needs an extra call, whether it's in my personal life or my synagogue life, so if you have other names, share them with me. But in your own lives, just do that. As I was saying before, you don't need a rabbi to do good deeds. We're here to support each other. We conclude with a song, so please be seated, and we will continue. Shabbat Shalom.
So this song is about angels, and I'm bringing it into this Shabbat for myself and for this beautiful, beautiful, joyful community, and for the world at large, that we may all remember that we are surrounded by a fleet of angels everywhere we go, all the time. And if we forget that, that community can remind us of the angels that we are surrounded by. Hamalach hagoeloti, Hamalach hagoeloti mikora, Yevarech et hanearim, Vayikarem bahem shemi. Hamalach hagoeloti, Hamalach hagoeloti mikora, Yevarech et hanearim, Vayikarem bahem shemi. V'shem avotai, v'shem avotai, Avraham ve'Yitzchak, ve'yidgu larov, ve'yidgu larov, b'kerev haaretz. V'shem avotai, v'shem avotai, Avraham ve'Yitzchak, ve'yidgu larov, ve'yidgu larov, b'kerev haaretz.
Thank you.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bim. Lighty-di-di-di, bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Yiddy-di, Shabbat Shalom.
Hey.
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. The babka's getting cold, so please rush out and eat the babka. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, thank you.